Hello everyone. This video is about translation designed digitally by Mr. Chandra Fauzi. More specifically, this video discusses Baker's approach to translation equivalence. Upon watching this video, you should be clear about the 5 levels of translation equivalence proposed by Baker 2011. Without further ado, let's get started. What is translation equivalence? It can be defined as how the source text's meaning, style, tone, and cultural context are transferred into the target text. For example, I go home can be translated as Aku pulang ke rumah in Bahasa Indonesia. Last week, we talked about formal and dynamic equivalence. The former refers to retaining the structure of the source text, while the latter focuses more on conveying meaning that best suits the audience. Unlike other theories that tend to dichotomize, Baker's categorizes translation equivalence into 6 levels. In this video, we will only talk about 5 levels: word level, above word level, grammatical level, textual level, and pragmatic level. Talking about word level, let's define what a word means. A word can be viewed as the smallest language unit which has meaning by itself. For instance, bird refers to an animal that can fly. Fish refers to animals that live under the water. Is one word of source text always translated as one word in target text? It's yes if one orthographic word of saint is represented by one word in TT. However, it's no if one orthographic word of saint is not represented by one word in TT. Also, a translator should be aware that one SL word could have multiple meanings. For example, the word spool can be translated into 3 meanings. How to decide the correct one? The translator has to pay attention to the context of the saint. Now, equivalence above word level. Simply put, translation equivalence above word level can be seen when a translator tries to translate English idioms, collocations, and fixed expressions. Idiom does not allow variation, and its meaning is not represented by its constituent words. Collocation still allows for variation in lexical patterns, and it is transparent in meaning. Unlike collocation, fixed expressions do not allow variation, but they can be translated from the meaning of constituent words. Let's move on to grammatical level equivalence. In grammatical equivalence, the translator has to choose whether to use simple, past, or perfect tense when translating the saint to TT. Have a look at why only the first translation fits the source text in the example. Generally speaking, there are 5 major grammatical categories in grammatical equivalence, such as number, gender, person, tense, and voice. Let's now talk about textual equivalence. In textual equivalence, we need to understand the definition of a clause. A clause is defined as a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. In textual equivalence, the clause is the main message that can be analyzed in terms of 2 types of structure: thematic and information structures. Thematic structure deals with the interaction between theme and reme. Simply put, them is what the clause is about and reme is what is said or what the speakers say about the theme. Pertaining to information structure, a translator has to be aware of given information and new information. A translator follows the flow of information in the source text and then translates it to the target text. Last but not least is pragmatic equivalence. In pragmatic equivalence, a translator deals with catching the meaning of saint, which is not literally conveyed. In other words, what is implied by the communicators. There are 2 key terms in pragmatic equivalence. They are politeness and implicature. In politeness, a translator has to make a pronomical choice to avoid the abnormality of pragmatic translation. Regarding implicature, a translator should be familiar with the additional unstated meaning communicated. For example, I wish I could come, which means I cannot come at the moment. Well, that's all about Baker's approach to translation equivalence. I hope you find this video useful. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment section. Thanks for your excellent attention.